How's everyone doing today? Okay, full disclosure, I don't actually care how you're doing, so we're ending there. So just some background on the photo behind me. That was my profile picture for a year and a half, well into my 12th grade year of high school. So you ask me, how do you want to represent yourself to the world? I would say, I don't know, probably like a strangely sexual toadstool. I probably am gonna want to go for that. So, yep, there I am. Please try to stay focused on here, eyes here. Everyone, judges, what's up? How you doing, Brian? You good? Just called him Brian. Oh my God, I'm so naughty. We're done with that. So I'm from New York. Who else here is from New York? Did I see a show of hands? Wow, that's a lot of you. I'm sorry to say that I'm also from New York, as you heard. I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but New Yorkers in different environments are assholes. I'm sorry if I'm the first one who's told you this, but I've noticed it since I've been here. Like a New Yorker in a new environment, especially like New Haven, always tries to prove how dangerous New York is. You know? Like you'll be talking, you'll be like, yeah, I'm kind of worried about leaving that party alone. You know, it's New Haven, it's kind of scary. I'm afraid I'm gonna get mugged. Oh yeah, actually in New York, we get mugged all the time. I'm literally mugged on a daily basis. I don't own any earthly possessions. Everything I have is lost because of the daily mugging. No, but yeah, New Haven seems really scary. Or like jaywalking, people hear jaywalk a lot and they're like, oh yeah, I'm scared that like a car might hit me. And in New York it's like, yeah, I actually jaywalk on a daily basis. My hospital bills are through the roof, I'm hit every single time. This is my 40th pair of legs. I am the bionic man, but yeah, whatever. Or I honestly think that if a New Yorker were to go to like the middle of the jungle and be dropped there with nothing at all, the New Yorker would be like, yeah, no, I guess this is pretty scary, but like in New York I swallow wasps on a daily basis. Like my throat is literally constantly swollen from the wasp stings. I can't swallow anything. I love pumpkin spice. Season. Where's yoga around here? Yeah, so that's my feeling on New Yorkers. I'm sure you guys have, you've probably heard the same thing. One thing I do really love about New York is that I feel like New Yorkers have really good street smarts though. You know, that kind of comes from living in such a dangerous and cool place. Oh, okay, this one time, a guy like asked me for money. And I didn't want to give it to him because I thought, you know, he would probably just use it to buy drugs and alcohol. And like, besides, it was the worst taxi ride I'd ever had, so, you know. Oh my God, bumpy, it smelled bad, so like, yeah, I'm getting out of there. Oh man, yeah. So I'm a freshman here, and that's super exciting. But the one thing that kind of sucks about being a freshman is all the names you have to remember. And I'm really bad at names. I've lied about having face blindness like 4 times since I've gotten here. Which is not like believable because I don't have that. Is that a thing? Who knows? But so I've come up with this like kind of foolproof way of just getting around that problem. And what that is so someone will say like, you know, I'll meet someone, I'll be like, hi, I'm Charlie. And they're like, we met yesterday. What's wrong? Emma, you don't remember me? And I'll just say, oh my God, you know what it was? I was super drunk yesterday. You know, which actually kind of worked pretty well because I'm like, oh my God, you're such a crazy partier, lol. But then it kind of gets out of hand because you say like, hi, I'm Charlie, and someone says, yeah, I know, I'm Jenny. We met yesterday, and you say, oh, sorry, yeah, like, well, I was super drunk yesterday, and they say, it was 11 a.m. on like a Tuesday out. So, what's the deal with that? Yeah, I'm a crazy partier. Pre-gaming French. What's up, lay bitches? Yeah, so I think honestly what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna go all out. Like I'm gonna introduce myself. Hi, I'm Charlie. You don't remember me? What's wrong with you? Like we met yesterday afternoon. Oh, you know what? I probably just shot up, like right before then. Oh my god. Were you that purple dragon? That was you? Oh my god. Yeah, you were in my nightmares. It's the teeth, I got it. So this past summer, as I live in New York, and we don't really have wildlife there, except for the pigeons that are oddly not afraid of you, or they just are limping around and horrifying. So we don't really have wildlife, so I thought I would go to a wilderness camp. And for those of you who aren't from New York, and I imagine live in farmhouses or things like that, that's kind of the dichotomy I'm living with, like New York and like rural Kansas, I don't know. A wilderness camp is basically where they take all these city kids and they like bring them to the wild. You know, the great outdoors, and it's actually kind of beautiful because basically what happens is you get all these city kids and you put them in a van and you drive and all of a sudden you stop and they say, okay, here you are, the great outdoors, and you say, the kids get out and they look around and they're like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. All the trees, is this Queens? No, this isn't Queens. I mean, you're in the great outdoors. So like Staten Island then? Oh no, you probably mean New Jersey, like that's what you're thinking of. No, not even farther than New Jersey. There are things outside of just New York. Okay, whatever, I'm just actually gonna go get a Starbucks right now. It's pumpkin spice season, so. And I don't know what like these kids thought was in the wild, or like where there might be a Starbucks, or like what that Starbucks might entail or look like. I imagine it had to be something along the lines of like a Starbucks of the wild, you know? The only difference there is they probably had birds, like real birds, not pigeons, as the servers and the baristas. And I don't mean like the like Cinderella type birds that come down and say, like, would you like a latte? They're, like, I'm talking about like angry birds. So you'd walk in and you'd go, hi, could I have a large decaf? And they'd go, squawk, squawk, squawk. And you'd say, okay, fine, a venti decaf. God, you guys are assholes even here. Jesus Christ. Okay, thanks so much. The audience being like, all right, peace, we're done. So, full disclosure, was not super prepared for this, so I began writing things on my hand, but my hands are sweaty, but I'm still gonna go for it. So if you see me looking at my hands, do I just like my palms, or am I forgetting things? You'll never know. So, that's where we are now. Okay, so. See, we have a special appearance from the right. Is that gonna happen? All right, we're just gonna proceed. So, a lot of people here were talking about, whoa, there we are. A lot of people before were talking about gay marriage, and that's obviously an issue that's really important to a lot of people. And it's super great and super important for me personally because I'm gay. I don't know if you could tell.
Maybe here. Is it Sean?
We're there? Yeah. Okay. It's my special guest, the right microphone. And because I'm gay, so a lot of people think that today, because we have like Lady Gaga and Born This Way, things are a total magical paradise for gay people. It's like a wonderful Beyonce-led land of the righteous homosexual who will slowly take over the world and the government. And if you think that, you might be a Yale student, you might be a Scalia, I don't know. But that's what you think. I think today is the era of whatever. And it is great. It is great to be gay. However, there are some things that kind of suck about it. One thing, I mean, you know, all the rights we don't have, whatever. One thing that really annoys me, though, is when anyone mentions a gay celebrity who's, like, particularly well-liked, everyone always goes, oh my god, Charlie, you're so lucky. You have Neil Patrick Harris. And I feel like the people who say that don't necessarily understand, like, how romance, or what the word having really means or entails. Like, no, I don't have him. I could only have him if romance worked on a dibs system. Like, I called him, oh man, you were so close, I was right behind you. Is Matt Bomer gone too? Well, fuck. All right. That's not, all right, I'm sorry. It's okay, it is what it is. We'll work with it. Yeah, but that's not really how it works, unfortunately. I feel like if it were, this is just an adventure. It's an acoustic adventure happening around me. This is all part of it. It's performance art. Oh my god, where was I? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if it were, life would just be a lot better. It'd be a lot easier. You see someone on the street, you're like, dibs, and they're like, oh, all right, it is what you called it, so. Let's go on. All right, we're gonna have some crazy sex right now. All right, let's do it. It's not how it works, though. It's okay. Now's the time where I look at my hand and I try to remember what my next joke was. Nice palms, Charlie. Thanks so much. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so I'm a freshman, and I came to Yale with all these really big and grand expectations of what Yale would be like. And probably the biggest thing I thought is everyone would be super smart and brilliant, and you're not. I'm sorry to say it, but you're just not. And all you have to do is sit in one section one time to find out how true that is. You sit in section, and I feel like the questions are kind of the same types of questions that people would ask in the info sessions when you're touring colleges, in that they were almost never relevant to the topic at hand. And what makes it worse is when people ask these questions, there's always this acknowledgement that the question is totally irrelevant because they preface it with, this might not be relevant, but no, if you're starting there, then just quit while you're ahead. It'll be and so, I'm in linguistics, and so this is where all of this happens, this is where it all goes down. You're talking and so this is, the word, and this is the schwa, and that makes an sound. Oh yeah, sorry, question in the back. Yeah, I have this rash, right here. And whenever I don't sleep enough, it gets worse, but whenever I eat cherries, it gets better. Sorry, I don't know if that's relevant or not, but I guess that's really for you to decide, and for me, I don't know, you're the expert, so just tell me what you know. Or it'll be yeah, you in the back. So, I don't know if this is relevant, but there's a song that goes da-na-na-na-na-na. Oh, it's Come On Eileen, I got it, I'm sorry. I answered my own question, I thought about it before, sorry. Oh my god. I'm so jealous. Sorry for wasting everyone's time. Obviously, it's Come On Eileen. Yeah. I feel those prefaces are just kind of ridiculous all around. It's when people say sorry, not to be racist. It's where are you gonna go with that? Where are you taking me on this magic, non-racist adventure? Not to be racist, but black people are inherently worse as a race. Not to be sexist, but women are inferior in most, if not every way. Or it's the same kind of thing when people say no offense, oh, sorry, no offense, but you're ugly and I hate you and you're stupid. And this happened to me one time. I was sitting on the subway and the subway from New York, how back long. So I was sitting on the subway and I was crossing my legs how people do in life, and this guy across from me is talking to his 5-year-old son and pointing to me and saying, don't sit like that because if you sit like that, you're gonna turn gay. Which okay, we're gonna separate this into some separate problems. A, not really. It's not actually true. It's one thing if it were, well, it's a harsh truth and the kid better learn it sometime, but it's not. It is not true that that's how that works. But secondly, oh, and so then he looks at me afterwards and he sees I'm oh, what the fuck? What is wrong with you, you horrible human being? And he goes, oh, no offense. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I feel so dumb for being offended. gay at all. Please forgive me. Yeah, so when we're talking about things that people say that are annoying, one thing that I've been hearing a lot, especially now in pop music, is forget the haters, and this concept of haters, you know what I mean? The haters. People talk about it as if they're these omnipresent ghouls swirling around. If you sing "We Can't Stop" 3 times, they'll come and they'll take you to the underworld. And what'll happen there is they'll prevent you from dancing and being yourself. Forget the haters, just dance! I'm afraid if I say it once more, you'll just see me dragged off into the world. And I was thinking, that's kind of a ridiculous idea, but at the same time, there's also kind of something really nice about, the notion of a hater, you know? It's if you go through life thinking that everyone is a hater, everything you do must be, amazing, you know? You're, sitting and you're saying, well, I had ice cream for lunch, and then I went out somewhere else and I got ice cream, and it's dinner now. And maybe I'll get ice cream for dinner. And that's kind of just a sad thing in your life, that you're it's sad that 3 times a day it's pretty much the status quo, but it's a really awesome thing if you think that there's some hater who's I bet you can't eat all that ice cream. Oh yeah? Look at all this sweet crunch, bitches! Daily things become so much more exciting. I feel like you live your life like Eminem, you know? In all his songs, Eminem is yo, forget the hate, oh, fuck the other people who said I couldn't be here I am! You know? You're buying milk at the supermarket and you stand up and you're what's up? I know you all said I couldn't buy milk. Here I am. Skin motherfucker! What's up? Yeah, another phrase that I really hate when people say is, oh my god, I should have had this planned before I started this sentence. I promise I have something. Oh no, here it is, okay. This is a journey. When people say follow your heart, you know? You've heard that, right? Follow your heart. I don't know what to do. I'm told which class should I take. Do what your heart tells you to do. Follow your heart. Listen. Take a quick listen. Put your head down there and your heart will say, hey, Charlie, here's what you gotta do. But that doesn't really work for me because I hope someone in the room agrees with me on this, but if my heart were to dictate what I do, if my first impulse were the thing that I always did, I would end up doing a lot of really violent or sexual things. I'm waiting for the train. The train is coming and there's a woman standing close to the platform and the train is coming. I'm just waiting there, I'm okay, just chilling, whatever. And then my heart creeps up behind me and it's hey, Charlie. Push it in the tracks! No, heart, no! Bad heart! No, you can't do that. Or I used to go to Quaker school, which is where you would sit in silence for 5 minutes every single day, and it was really hard because your heart is screaming when you're sitting in silence with everyone you've ever known ever. So you're sitting there and Pamela, who's the head of the middle school, is staring at you with her eyes and everyone's silent, and your heart creeps up and says, scream fuck. Do it, say it loud. Or say the N-word. No! Or this happens a lot when I'm talking with teachers or professors. High school teachers, professors, here I am. When I'm talking with professors, I will, they'll be going over a paper and they'll be well, here, your thesis isn't really clear, you're kind of losing it, blah, blah, blah. And my heart is just saying, kiss him on the mouth. Put your lips on his lips and then shove it, use tissue in his eyes. No! I'm not gonna do that. Please don't do that. What would happen? I don't know. Should I be with the man I love? Or should I go with the man that my parents want me to be with? And the person says, well, Jessica, follow your heart. Jessica goes, you're right. You know what to do. I'll stab them both in the eyes. All right, thanks so much.
Yeah, I'm Ryan Bowers. I'm a theater major, which is another way of saying I don't go to college. They were like, yay, you got in, what do you want to study? And I was like, no, thank you. Dancing for credit, please. But for real, this is fucking Yale. Like, I don't mean to toot our horn so much, but you know, like, all of us could be a shitty doctor. Fucked up that we're not doing that. Like, I'm not saying I could cure cancer, but could I be like, antibiotics? Yeah, I could do that. If you're pre-med, great job. If you're anything else, you know malaria still exists, right? How about we put Complet to the side until we fix everybody's dying all the time? I don't know, the world's fucked up. Gay people don't have rights, which sucks. Because they're not even asking for that much. What do gay people want? Gay people want to like get married, they want to file their taxes together, they want to visit each other in the hospital. Let's be real, those are pretty much the gayest rights we have anyway. And why are we bringing the hammer down on hospital visits? How about anyone can visit anyone in the hospital? How about visits are nice? If I show up with flowers and a card and I'm like, I want to give it to that guy, why is the follow-up question, do you share his blood? In my mind, the hospital is staffed by warlocks. I don't know, but people get upset because they say being gay is a choice. And being gay is not a choice. And actually the only reason being gay is not ever a choice is because of the people who say being gay is a choice. Because they're kind of being assholes about it. Like, if they were just a little cooler about it, I'm pretty sure people would just rub their dicks together for fun. I think that would happen every once in a while. Because, I mean, historically, rubbing my penis against anything has been pretty awesome. So I don't understand why we're drawing the line at another penis. And just to be clear, that last joke doesn't make me gay, okay? It makes me bi-curious. We have a new pope, which is good because the last one was a Nazi. Maybe in the future, when we're picking the holiest person, we should set a baseline of not involved in the Holocaust. The only explanation I can come up with is a bunch of cardinals were sitting in a room and they were like, oh, people think the Catholic Church is really backwards about shit. And they were like, what did they say? Wait till they see the fucking Nazi Pope. And then everyone was like, yeah, and they did some donuts in the Pope-mobile and squealed out of the parking lot. I don't know, the world's a really messed up place. We had to make a law that says you can't have sex with a kid. Like, at some point we had to make that a law. Like, everyone was like, oh, hey, man, Marty. You gotta stop fucking that kid. It's illegal now, okay? Just stop. I don't mean to make light of pedophilia. I think pedophilia is really fucked up. I think, the innocence of children is pretty much all we have left. So I actually don't think we're harsh enough on pedophiles. I don't think they should go to jail. Here's what I think should happen. I think we should put them in a room and build a robot that is proportionally larger than them as they were to the child. And then that robot would rape them a bunch. It would be a super effective system until we wound up with no pedophiles and a bunch of raping robots. Thanks, guys. That's my time. I'm becoming a man, which sucks. I am a man, but I'm becoming a grown man. And grown men pretty much just go around ruining people's days. Like if a grown man walks into a room that I'm in, I'm just going to be a little bit uncomfortable till he leaves. Like if you're in a room with any people in the whole world, it doesn't matter what people are in the room, and the door opens and you can't see who's on the other side of the door, literally no one in the room is hoping it's a grown man. Some of them might be hoping it's a cute guy, but that's a different thing. Cute guy is a nice thing. A grown man is nothing but hair and murdering people. That's what men do. Statistically, like, all murders are got. We're responsible for, like, basically, like, if we're rounding, all of them. It's actually at the point where, like, if a woman were to murder someone and I were to find out about it, I would be like, you go, girl. Hear you roar. I don't know, but, you know, like, men are the worst. Drunk men are even worse. Because, okay, here's the thing. Anytime a woman has sex with a drunk man, she is making a catastrophic mistake. I don't mean morally, I mean in her own interests. Because a drunk man is such a clumsy, horrible beast that he can barely bat around his own situation. There's no way he can deal with the Rubik's Cube that is female sexuality. There's so many erogenous zones. It's like playing in a one-man band. I've never had sex with a drunk man, but I have been a drunk man having sex, and even during I was thinking, this can't be going well. It's just sad but true. I can't drink very well, though. Like, I feel like a real man can, like, really, like, hold his liquor. I get 2 drinks in, and I seriously think about starting a diary every time. And it wouldn't be a journal. Hemingway kept a journal. If it's written in glitter gel pen, it's a diary. That's just true. But drinking as a whole is fucking insane. Like, think about if someone did alcohol to you. If someone came up and gave you a drug that made it hard to move around or talk, and then you threw up on yourself and you passed out, and the next morning you didn't remember any of it, they would go to jail. Forever. And giant rape robot jail. Rightfully so. Drinking is insane. I don't know, men are good at things. I'm not good at things. I'm not good at lying. I had a job 2 summers ago, and I had a job last summer too, but this is about the 2 summers ago job. And it was my last day of work, and I decided I didn't want to go in that day. I decided, you know, it was like 2 days before I came back here, and I had to pack, and I wanted to see some people, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to call in today. I'm just going to call in. So I take out my phone, and I start dialing work. But as I'm dialing, I'm thinking, hang on. They know it's my last day too. They also know I'm a lazy sack of shit. So they're never gonna believe that I just happened to be sick today. They're not gonna buy it. But I'm already dialing the phone. And they pick up, they're like, hi, who's this? I'm like, hi, it's Charlie Bardey. I can't come in today, but I'm panicking because I can't tell them I'm sick. So this is what I actually said. I can't come in today. There's been a fire. Not going into work. As far as this woman was concerned, my whole family was dead, and I was calling from an ambulance. So she freaks out, she's like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm like, oh no, I made a huge mistake. I have to walk it back, I'm like, no, it's fine. But I still don't want to go into work today. So it can't be fine. So I'm like, no, it's fine. We just lost a lot of photographs and heirlooms. And photographs, I would like to give myself credit for, but people lose photographs in fire. Heirlooms, what am I, the fucking Lindbergh baby? What year did this fire happen? So So she runs off. I feel terrible. She feels terrible because she thinks my whole family's dead. She comes back and she's like, Ryan, I checked. You're not even on the schedule for today. So I'm an idiot. I worked there again this summer, by the way, and I met that woman, and she didn't say shit to me about this. So who's the asshole now? Alright, thanks guys, that's my stuff.
I'm actually here tonight to talk about something kind of serious. It's a fear that afflicts a lot of us, particularly women, and sort of horrifyingly so, women on this campus. And that is a fear of pooping. Anybody in the audience does not like poop jokes? You're gonna want a GTFO for the next, for the rest of the set. So I'm just gonna myth bust here for a hot segundo. Girls poo. We do it. We do it. In the morning, in the nighttime, at the break of dawn, something else is breaking. Open. It's our anus. Anuses, sorry, that should have been plural. If anybody was under the impression that the female gender possessed one collective anus, that is also incorrect. Sorry, bro. Yeah, no, girls don't just poo. We poo rough. We don't just drop neat little turdlets. We poo thick, juicy burritos, if you will. All sorts of like girths, consistencies. I heard of one chick who could poo her own name. Now that is talent, top of the resume. No ma'am, I cannot use Microsoft Word, but if you want to buy me 4 pounds of General Tso's chicken and wait around a day and a half, I can write anything you want in feces. Look, Ma, no hands. I'm not that good, admittedly, dreams. I mean, I'm okay. Not to toot my own horn, but my butthole may or may not have inspired the lyrics to Wrecking Ball. Fun fact, after first having inspired the lyrics to Don't Drop That Thump-a-Nun. Fucking cultural appropriation. It's the thing though, girls are scared of pooping, and it's not just like a facade we maintain for the strapping young men folk. We're scared of pooping in front of other girls too. We have to find secret bathrooms around campus in which to do the do. I personally call them secret shitting holes. I don't know why, it reminds me of watering holes. SSHs, if you will. The basement of LC. The fucking music library in Sterling. The Saybrook laundry room. Perpetrator joke. So the thing about a secret shitting hole is that it's kind of like the room of requirement. You don't really think about it until you need it, and then it's just there. It's got your back and your butt. It's just this oasis, perfectly attuned to your needs in that moment, where you can come and do your business in peace, until Harry Potter walks in and is like, what up, I'm a plagiarist, let me stash this evidence, and you're like, no, that's cool, I was just servicing the Dark Lord over here with a big old turd. I am always Harry Potter. That is to say, I always walk in on people while they are blowing the butt trumpet. I don't know what it is. I don't have a forehead scar. I do have a formidable chin dimple. But I always walk in on these secret shitting holes, and there's just one chick in there who you know is having a grand old time before you walk the fucking... Now, there are a few different approaches you can take when somebody walks into your secret shitting hole. One, you can hold it, or suction back in, whatever, and just look it out the stall as soon as I get in mine, so we don't have to look each other in the eyeballs. Two, you can pretend to be on your phone, or like weeping, or whatever things are weirdly more socially acceptable for women to do on a toilet than pinch a loaf. Or my personal favorite, a risky move I've only ever seen employed once in my brief tenure here. Three, you can pretend to be a statue. I'm not kidding, I have seen this. Deport, September 24th. I walk in and this girl's feet just freeze. Like when little kids are playing hide and go seek and the finder gets to 0 and there's like one kid who hasn't found a spot yet, so he's just like, maybe if I stay really still, I'll just cease to exist. You don't. And unfortunately for this girl, I'm kind of a dick, so I just took my damn time. Pulled out some Play-Doh. By minute 7, you could see the muscles in her foot just puckering with effort. A single bead of liquid rolled down her foot and fell on the floor. I thought it was pee at first. It was sweat. Hilarious. Also dangerous. Story time. My friend's aunt went to Yukon back in the DIA and was similarly afflicted by this fear of pooping. So she gets to college and is assigned a co-ed bathroom, so she's just fucked. Does not drop a single biscuit in that co-ed basket all year. I kid you not, she went home on the weekends to poop. Can you imagine her parents? You just dropping off some laundry, honey? Oh, she dropped more than laundry. 25 years later, she wakes up one day and notices all these symptoms. So she goes to the doc, is like, what's up? And he's like, I'm gonna be straight with you, bro. You have ass cancer. If anybody in the audience does not like cancer jokes, you're gonna want a GTFO about 4 seconds ago. Bye, decent human beings. I kid you not, my friend's aunt swears to sweet baby Krishna that holding in her crap gave her colon cancer. She didn't let it RIP. That is literally a quote from her gravestone. She's in remission, I'm just shitting. Yeah. Thanks. So I tried watching Cats, like the musical, recently. Got about 3.5 minutes in and had to turn it off. Partially because that's how long my attention span is now. Yeah, fuck you, pop music. Look at what you've created. I'm a monster! Arrested Development? No. Yeah, you guys seen the 4th season? Spoiler alert, it is a hot turd. That means bad, if that was unclear from my previous set. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I like about the 4th season is that they preserve how, like, self-referential it is. Okay, so like, Portia de Rossi is just constantly referencing Buster's I'm a monster line with her face. Anyways, tried watching Cats, like the musical, recently, had to turn it off, because I guess I didn't pick up on this when I was little, but it's, like, very boring and a little weird. Not its own meow, nor its pajamas. Yeah, I had to turn it off though, because I guess, so for those of you who don't know what Cats is about, wrong, you do, Cats, it's about cats. They sing and eat kibble and they like open their eyes meaningfully out of the darkness. And then the extra mangy one hits the mic and is like, JK, this musical is about death, curtain, fall. I guess when I was little, I was just like a really morbid little fucker, so this just buttered my biscuit up real good. My mom actually had to hide the VHS tape with the cookies and the steak knives. I'm just kidding, when I was little I actually didn't like cookies. The sweet that really got me revved was Tums. Like the stomach acid medication. Sophie Dillon, basic bitch from the beginning. Yeah, it was like science. Yeah. He doesn't get it. What are you? Anthropology? Don't talk to me. Yeah. So, I guess when I was little, I was just super, super morbid. Fuck, I'm forgetting this. Because I guess I was just super morbid because I knew that I was going to grow up to have like zero maternal instinct. And I just knew that I was going to be like the end of the dynasty. I was super conscious of it. No mandate of heaven for me, right? Fuck yeah, I took 7th grade social sciences. I was just constantly aware of this fact. probably just like Gatorade in there, like, I don't know, Mountain Dew. Maybe gravy. It's true though, it's a thing. I don't get babies, you know? Yale just saw the mothering instinct blossoming within me and was like, hell no, humanity does not need more of this bitch smoke. That's the past tense of the word smite. I don't get babies though. Sometimes I'll be out like walking with the honeys, and we'll see a baby, and they will approach it and sort of like coo and like pat it or whatever and say like, oh look, it doesn't have any teeth. And meanwhile I'm just like walk away, nobody's gonna see you. And it's, okay, so the thing about babies is they're how do I put this? They're very small. And thanks for pay, so I agree. Not like that. Come on. So my first rule about watching children is stick to the script. They do the children thing, I do the watching thing. I'm a watcher, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, only no one's wearing a hilarious sweater. They play blocks to increase spatial intelligence. I warm them casserole for sustenance. They are not allowed any cookies so as not to contribute to child obesity. They can have as many chums as they want. I'm actually pretty good about that one. Then I read them Huckleberry Finn from an opposing chair. Then Potty, then Dreamy Time. If they are good, they are allotted one German lullaby. That's like a lullaby, only instead of music, it's just the smell of bratwurst. My opa used to sing them to me in the womb, which is weird actually because I'm Irish. But I can't sing them Irish lullabies because that's just whiskey. My mom sang those to me in the womb all the time. Everyone freaked out when I was born because I came out turned up.
For the sake of truth, I know that girl who can poop her own name. It's a lowercase L, so that's what her parents named her. So that she can poop her own name. How are you doing?
Good!
All right, let's please stop interrupting each other. And by the way, woo, has never been an answer to how are you doing. No, seriously though, like whenever I walk down the street and I see somebody whom I don't really want to talk to, but I want to acknowledge their existence because, I don't actually want to get into shit because I'm a Yalean, I say, how are you doing? That's what we do. They've never said, woo! They've never applauded. That's ridiculous. How are you doing? Nobody is that excited about life. There are a lot of beautiful people here in the audience. Let's wait. Let's try how are you doing again though, and then you won't talk over each other this time. So, how are you doing? Again, you did woo! I want to tell you guys jokes. This depends on you. I need to get through this part. How are you doing? Okay, we're doing this one at a time. Starting with you, right there. And we're gonna work around sort of in a spiral formation. So, how are you doing? Everybody hold your horses. You, it's your turn. How are you doing? Great. That's great. What's your name? Rachel? Oh, that's funny. My mom's name is Michelle. Make it a lot easier for me to connect with you if your name were Michelle. So speaking of my mom, let's talk about my psychiatrist. My psychiatrist recently diagnosed me with obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, which I just think is ridiculous. I mean, I think he's just jealous that I know how many times things need to be touched. Wait for them to finish laughing, count to 3, 1, 2, 3, touch this tooth, and look at that girl right there until she notices me. Thank you. Sometimes when I do that joke, it takes a minute, because people stop paying attention at that point. Let's talk about my personal life. My girlfriend, and I've talked to my psychiatrist about this, my girlfriend is kind of a one-trick pony. The trick is that I've been having sex with a pony. And I don't laugh at that, don't laugh at that. I don't appreciate you laughing at that, because you're kind of promoting bestiality here, and I don't want to be having sex with a pony. I'm just doing that for this joke. Okay, and that's called commitment, which is something my girlfriend would never understand, because she's a pony. Alright. People laugh when they recognize something, which is why I'm going to do this joke again at the end of my set. If you think that's funny now, just wait until you recognize it. So a bit about myself, a bit about race, actually. I'm half black, 1.5 not black. I'm actually half Jewish, half Irish, which means that when a cop pulls me over, I'll be fine, because I'm white. I'm actually entirely Jewish. You can tell because I lied about being half Irish. I am, and it's been kind of irritating to be entirely Jewish, because when the guys on Broadway, the Hasidic guys, approach me and say, "Are you Jewish? Are you Jewish?" You know, I don't know what to say. So recently, I've started saying, when they say, "Are you Jewish?" I say, "God forbid." Now hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. This is going to sound weird, but I think all black identical twins look the same. Right? But not Asian identical twins. They don't look like black identical twins. And that's not racist. That's racist. I like my coffee like I like my comparisons. Like my coffee. Who here wants to hear my reluctant impersonator impersonation? Yeah? You guys really want to hear it though? I don't know. It's not very well prepared, and you definitely want me to do it? I'm not your fucking monkey. I'm not, look, I am this close to having my fingers touch. People laugh when they recognize things, which is why I'm going to do this joke again at the end of my set. People laugh when they recognize things, which is why I'm going to do this joke again at the end of my set. People laugh when they think there's a pattern, but I just broke it. Touch this tooth, wait for the joke to be over, count to 3, 1, 2, 3, look at that girl right there, and wait until she notices me. There we go. Thank you very much.
It's actually my LinkedIn photo. Got a lot of job offers from Sharpie. My name is Cody Pomerantz, and these are some of my jokes. That wasn't a joke. So I was watching the movie No Strings Attached the other day. I don't know if you've seen this movie, but it has Natalie Portman in it. If you don't know anything about Natalie Portman, she's Jewish, she was born in Israel, she's fluent in Hebrew, she graduated from Harvard, and she's drop-dead gorgeous. which makes her one of the rarest women in the world, because she is simultaneously a teenage Jewish boy's dream and his mother's dream for him. The only two times those minds are on the same page, because let's face it, we all know Kim Kardashian and wet dreams aren't kosher. So. I don't speak from personal experience. I don't. But speaking of middle school Jewry, when I was in middle school, I had a dream of being a professional basketball player in the NBA. I believed that the only thing that separated me from Michael Jordan was a yarmulke. Maybe a foot of yarmulkes. But on my 12th birthday, my dad gave me the best gift any young Jew could ask for. It was a book entitled The Greatest Jewish Athletes of All Time. It was only 40 pages. The first 20 of which were the introduction. The last 10 of which were photographs. But I read it cover to cover because I was determined to defy the stereotype that we're just bankers and accountants. And guess what? I did. At my private Midwestern middle school Division III C-team basketball team, I averaged 3 points a game, 2 assists, and 0.2 rebounds. So it was actually 0.18 rebounds, but I rounded up to 0.2 because I was also the team statistician. It's the only reason they would let me play. You know, when I came to Yale, I came to Bulldog Days, and we had all these icebreakers. Do you guys remember these? You know, games to get to know the other students. And one of the questions they always asked in these icebreakers was, if you could be any animal, what would you be? And all the guys like really wanted to impress the girls, and they'd be like, I'd be a bear, I'd be a lion, I'd be a tiger. Well, I had a different answer. I would be a chihuahua. And here's why. Because every time I've ever seen a chihuahua, it's always had its little head nuzzled in the giant breasts of some busty woman. All I'm thinking is, damn, that chihuahua's got game. Think about that. That's a permanent life of motorboating, just all day. But speaking of busty women, I've been noticing a very weird trend in the porn industry lately. It's very disturbing because they're starting to focus more and more on like complex plots and deep characters. And you're sitting there watching, thinking like, wow, I really connect with Raoul. And I totally didn't see the twist about the hot Ukrainian twin sister coming. That was out of the blue and well executed. You know porn is heading in a strange direction when the word climax is being used in a literary sense. But seriously, what's next? I mean, this is disturbing. Think about what's next. You're gonna have porn stars acting out classic novels. Kids are gonna come to school and be like, hey man, did you read the Scarlet Letter? Nah, I just watched the porn version. And I gotta tell you, the A does not stand for adulterer. That one took a second. And then, of course, you have to have the Spark Notes version of the porn version, which I guess is just like foreplay in the money shot. I don't know. On a similar topic, I was actually at a dance in Brantford last year, and it was sponsored by the CCEs. And they were handing out glow-in-the-dark condoms. I don't know if you guys remember these, but they're handing out glow-in-the-dark condoms, and my friends were really excited about this. And I guess like I understand the appeal for like the Star Wars market. Like it's cool, like your dick's a lightsaber, like mini lightsaber, but yeah, I guess so. But for me, I guess I just couldn't get excited about it because I guess for me, a glow-in-the-dark condom is an implicit admission that you'd have trouble finding it in the dark. Lastly, I want to speak on something I've been thinking a lot about lately, and it's that I find it really easy to get in trouble in the English language, even when you're a native speaker like me. It's very easy because things don't always translate. Like, for example, you could say like, oh, I gave her a hug. You could shorten that to, I hugged her. Or I gave her a kiss. I kissed her. Well, I found out that that's not a universal rule the first time I gave a girl the finger. I was getting all these high fives from my friends. I didn't know why. I least I found out the rule before I gave a girl a tea bag. A real tea bag. But it's also bad, like, with synonymous words, you know, words that are synonyms in certain contexts. Like when I came home from a 5th grade class and I said to my mom, "Hey mom, you know, how was your day coding?" "Oh, well mom, you know, it was bad. My teacher really ate me out for not doing my homework." But it's okay, she's really mean to everybody, and once she turned her back to the class, we all fingered her, so. Thank you very much.
Serious? No one knows me. I'm from TD, man. Give me some chances here, dude. So, that actually happened. That was real. I submitted that for the Rumpus 50 Most photo contest last year on Facebook, and I lost to Blair Baker, whose picture was fully clothed, just her wearing a dress, like half of her face was cropped out. I was not happy. But it's okay. I'm a little bitter, but I'm kind of mad at Rumpus for other reasons, though. I think they're doing this whole 50 most thing, like, all wrong. It shouldn't be the 50 most beautiful people at Yale. It should be the 50 most beautiful people at Yale who are single right now. Because nobody wants to, yes, right? Yeah. Like, no one wants to read. Like, fuck that, dude. Like, Jeremy Hutton has a 6-pack, but he also has a girlfriend. Like, good for him. Is Jeremy Hutton here right now? Alright, good. Fuck that again. Is his mom here? Alright, good. Seriously though, like, I'm going through this, like, 50 most thing, and half of these people I've never even seen before. Like, who are these beautiful people? Do we go to the same school? Like, I've never seen these people. I find this one hot girl, I'm, like, reading her thing, and it's like, or her boyfriend, and I flip the page, and that's her boyfriend. Like, what the fuck? It's like reading E! Entertainment magazine. Like, these are all beautiful people I'm never gonna get to fuck. Like, it's not fun. So, the 50 Most issue comes out in February, which as a month is the fucking worst, dude. Like, are you serious? Nothing good happens in February. There's a reason Feb Club is in February. They try to make February fun. You can't make it fun, dude. Nothing fun happens in February. Let me explain why. First of all, the weather sucks. I mean, cross campus, no one goes outside because cross campus looks like a fucking tundra. Everyone's just walking around the basement of their college in sweatpants and socks. Like, not even flip-flops, just straight up socks. You like see some guy walking towards you and you kind of know him, but like you don't really know him, so you pretend to be on your phone until he's like right next to you, and you're like, "Oh, hey, what's up, dude?" Like, and you're the only 2 people walking in the entire thing. Dude, the only holiday in February is Valentine's Day. Like, oh, gee, thanks. Like, that'll cheer me up. I'll take the worst month of my life and then one holiday that reminds me I'm gonna die alone. Fucking perfect. And the dining hall stops giving a fuck in February, dude. Let's be real. You ever walk into the dining hall, you swipe, you like look at the food, and then you just like go back and you're like, "Can I fucking get my swipe back? This is bullshit." Like, what the hell is this? Don't you love it when like they always do this shit? They use the same salad from lunch into dinner, and you're like, "That quinoa looks awfully fucking familiar." Like, but they changed the title card, so now instead of like mixed grains, it's like quinoa shenanigans or something. I don't know. And you're like, "Alright, whatever, they're trying." Dude, in February, they don't give a fuck. They'll use the same title card. You're like, "But that's the same." And they're like, "Yeah, we know." And you're like, "Yeah, it's been out there for 6 hours." So those 2 flies right there, they were just having sex in the couscous like an hour ago. Eat up, though. You got a midterm tomorrow, don't you? You're sitting there, you're like, "Dude, what the fuck? There's probably like fly jizz in here. Do flies even jizz? Like, I don't even know." Speaking of animals having sex with each other, hey, it could have been worse. I could have said people having sex with animals. I mean, come on now. Which apparently is what the GOP thinks is going to happen if we legalize gay marriage. Like, I keep hearing these Republican senators, and they're like, "Well, I mean, if we legalize gay marriage, what's next? What's stopping someone from marrying their horse?" Oh, gee, I don't know. It's a fucking horse. Like seriously. All right, okay, so Sean's fucking his pony, but other than that, no one else is having sex with animals. Like, so. I don't know about you guys, but my dad's always talking, and like people that age are always talking about how the 60s and 70s were like the greatest thing ever. It's just like, there was like cocaine and like sex everywhere. People just like doing blow off each other's nipples. Like, it's just this great time. And like, that sounds great, but like, I wish we could combine the sexual liberalism of the 60s and like the drug availability of the 70s with like the technology of today. Because then it's game over. Like, you pick up your iPhone, you have like group me's for orgies, you can be like, "Oh yeah, it's casual." You like post on the Yale college class of 2016. No, better yet, 2017, am I right? Hotties, what's up? No, not you, dude. I meant the girls. So, do you guys remember the whole Dean Mary Miller grading thing last year, where she was like, too many people are getting A's, fuck that, we gotta change that, as if we're too happy or something. Why are we trying to change that? Oh, they're getting good grades, fuck them, no. I think we can change the grading system, but here's how I would change it. Any grade that's a D or lower, you can trade that in. It'll automatically get turned to an A if you can just take 20 minutes of just getting your ass beat into the ground. If you can take 20 minutes of fucking pain, man, they bring in Lawrence Fishburne, the big black guy from fucking, you know what I'm talking about, look, you guys see the movie 21 with Jim Sturgis, and no one? Okay, fuck that. He's from The Matrix, never mind, forget I brought up that other movie. He comes in with brass knuckles, you're just oh shit, here we go. They tie you to the chair. Dude, I love that, man, are you fucking serious? I take one look at my PCAM midterm, I'd be fuck that, I'm already taking my shirt off, yo, Lawrence, come at me, bro, let's do this. Let's turn that D into an A, bitch. Let's make this coal into some diamonds, motherfucker. That's my set, guys. I love you guys.
Facebook privacy settings, because before, I was once stalked, and then I found out I was getting all these weird text messages, and I figured out it's because my phone number is on my Facebook page and it's public, which is probably not the best way to avoid stalkers. But I also did once accidentally give my phone number to a homeless man, so it is also kind of my fault. Although in my defense, he promised to defend my honor till the end, which was really touching. I think, okay, so cool, my picture's up here. So that's my family, which I'm really proud of. If you can't see our awkward family photo, that's my brother, which was really fortunate in this photo is you can actually tell that I'm the girl and he's the boy, which up until about maybe 5-6 years ago wasn't actually possible. I was really hideous and he had that awful Justin Bieber hair, and my dad doesn't actually know English pronouns, so he'd be oh, well, he's my daughter, and that one, she's my son. And so people were very confused, so you have two transgenders. Interesting. Which is great. My brother likes to make fun of me because he's the prettier one until very recently, but I mean, in my mother's words, it helped me develop a great personality. Because until I was about 16, she was Mitra, make sure that you're really nice to all the other kids at school. And I was why, Mom? I'm cool. And she was yeah, but honey, your personality is really gonna count one day. Thanks. And then when I was coming to college and she realized I actually look like a normal human being now because you can tell my gender, which is great. I really appreciate that fact about myself. She warned me and was yeah, so when you go to Yale, Mitra, there's a lot of nice boys and they're probably gonna be successful and they're forced to hang out with you for hours and hours on end. This is your chance. And I was holy crap! Really? That much pressure? And she was yeah, because once you get into the real world, Mitra, they're all gonna know your demons. And I was oh. Because apparently, that's why she sent me to therapy for 2 years. Which was great, my, also warning to the judges, whoever's keeping time, just let me know, because I'm just talking here. I don't actually usually do this whole, stand-up thing, because, I'm not really good at putting anything together properly, which is why I was late, and why I made such an awkward entrance. It's not just because I think I'm a princess, although that adds to it. Yeah, so great things about my amazingly beautiful Persian family, other than that we go to farms and take these wonderful, lovely, awkward family photos. Which, by the way, was, what you can't see in this photo is that I'm actually laying on dog shit. This shot took approximately 50 tries before my brother could smile correctly, because we didn't actually know his face was incapable of that formation. My dad was yelling at me earlier for being such an uncooperative person for wanting to cry about the dog shit. My mother was just very pleased that my dad was dealing with that aspect of the situation, because she usually likes to play nice cop. So I'm from Berkeley, California, which means that my mother really is into yeah, cool, I like you, which like really conflicts with the fact that my dad's like this super conservative Persian man. So like when my mom thought like, oh cool, it's like time to have a sex talk with Mitra. Like for my dad, it was like, cool, it's time to give her a chastity belt. Which like was a bit like confusing for the two of them because I don't think they ever talked about it. So my mom would find me in like really awkward situations, like when we're in a moving car and I couldn't escape to give me the sex talk. And my dad just like avoided it completely and then asked me if I was a lesbian my freshman year of college. Which like, I mean, he had high hopes for that, but like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But so when my mother wanted to have a sex talk with me, she decided to prep by going to Costco. Which isn't usually everybody's first destination. We've talked a lot about the greatness of Costco this evening. My mom went to Costco and bought a Costco fantasy pack of Trojans in all different flavors and a giant Costco-sized bottle of glue, which I didn't know they created, but I guess some people need a lot of moisture. Yeah, don't you just hate that word moist? So she got these great items because apparently my virginity was going to be a big event, which I didn't know about. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I still don't even look like a girl. What's going down there? And she got these things, and then she also got me this book that's called The Joy of Sex, which is like a very, very graphic novel. Some might say pornographic. Which she gave all of these items to me and sat me down along with two of my best friends who I was going to go to Spain with that summer and decided to give us all the sex talk this time. And so all my friends are sitting there and I'm dying of embarrassment, and as she's telling us about like the great first time we're gonna have, she launches into tears and just starts crying about the first time that she had with my dad after their wedding, which is awful, because my friends were just cringing and they were like, what the fuck is wrong with Misha's mom? And I was just like, oh damn it, please let it stop. So we pack these items in my suitcase and we get to the airport and my suitcase is overweight. So my dad opens up my suitcase to try to repack it, and God, all hell breaks loose, because there's the box of condoms, there's the lube, and there's the joy of sex just staring right at you. And he's looking at me like, what the fuck are you planning? Like, this is not a European orgy vacation. So it took a lot of convincing for me to get on that plane. But I finally did, which was great. There were a lot of regrettable experiences. But that's not the point. So the reason I was late was because I was in this child's law class, which makes me think a lot about juvenile delinquency. I really like the word degenerate recently. It's like one of my favorite words, because I think it encapsulates a lot of our behavior in college. And I like to think about like happily when I was a degenerate my freshman year, like, oh my god, that was so fun, I dressed like such a slut. Which is great for me, because like freshman college girls, like first Halloween, like I know some of you might be looking out for that. It really is an excuse to dress like a slut. It's brilliant. So then I looked at my brother who's a freshman, and I maternal instinct that like I didn't know I had before, because you know it took me a while to figure out I was a girl, and then once we got there, like then the hormones started flowing. So now I'm just like in this really weird space where I don't really understand why I can't let him have a drink in his hand, because it just worries me so much. And then I figured it out, why people think that girls are psychopaths when we're this age. It's birth control, guys. I swear, if you ever want to read the funniest thing in your life, go online and look up reviews for birth control. This summer, that's what I did. My doctor, I was on this great pill, I was totally happy. My doctor was like, you know what, Mitra, like, why don't we switch you just for shits and gigs? And I was like, you know, I trust you, you're a healthcare professional. And so, hand in hand, we were like, oh my god, let's choose a brand new pill. And she gave me this death pill. And I saved one pack of it in case I ever hate anyone enough to like actually administer this to them, because it was that bad. But to pill. So I took the pill for like a good 3 months, became a raging psychopath, and like, you know, like those horrible people on those reality TV series where you like see them crying in the parking lot of fast food chains because they don't know what they're doing with their life? That was me. And like, I felt really bad, but then like I was watching like TLC with a whole new appreciation, and every time Honey Goo Goo Child came on the screen, I cried for her because I could feel for her, and I had all of these maternal instincts flowing through my body, being like, honey, no, like, I will take care of you. And so, oh, am I done? Oh, okay, sorry, they're cutting me off, guys. It was really great talking to you. I really enjoyed when you listened to me. The best part about this is that I love talking, and now, like, hundreds of people are forced to actually listen to my voice, and they can't tell me to shut up, which is great. So thanks.
All right. I tried to use the bathroom between sets, but there's no way to get back there, so this might be a quick one. No, I'm really excited, guys. Super excited to be here. This is awesome. I told my parents I was coming out here to do this tonight, and half of them were excited. Yeah. No. My mother and my father love and support me 110%, respectively. My dad is Irish, and the Irish have a certain parenting technique that they call "fuck you." Some laughs of recognition out there. No, he's a great guy, but he taught us a lot of expressions when we were kids that I always thought were like universal expressions, but apparently were just unique to my house. Like, other people don't go around saying, "Oh, it looks like there's shit out of love." Or, "I need that like I need a hole in a condom." You get the point, I'll stop beating the middle child here. Speaking of middle children, my autistic brother has a huge penis. No, that's really, it's very true. My brother is on the spectrum, legitimately, and when he was born, he had to be rushed to the emergency room because his penis was medically concerning. True story, my parents told me this when they were drunk recently. And I think it really helped him. He grew up, he's totally high functioning nowadays, and it's because, like, in middle school, you don't really bully the kid who has to wear a cup in gym class to protect the other kids. I'd like to take this time to mention that this condition is genetic. Autism, guys. Clapping about it, jeez. No, my penis, on the other hand. My penis is like my term paper for Intro to Cog Sci. Should have been longer, but it was long enough to get a B+ out of Brian Scholl, so. I'm just messing with you. I came up with a joke to smooth things over. What do you call male cleavage? The uncanny valley. It's a Cog Sci joke, it's not really. He doesn't appreciate it. My brother. My mom, on the other hand, my mom's a sweetheart. And just sitting here watching all of these other sets, I'm so concerned about these people's mothers. Like, do they go online and watch these bits on YouTube afterwards? They're horrible. They'd be terribly disappointed. And I specify mothers here, because just by being a comedian, you can assume the father's disappointment. Or in my case, just by being. But for me, it's not really a problem, because my mom knows me. She knows I'm totally like a vanilla guy. If I make any jokes about like sex or alcohol, it's just for the stage. You got that? Good. Oh, I'm putting together a different cut for my mom. I'm going to send it to her later. Anyways, how about titty fucking, right? Yeah? No, my mom is a dear. She's really nice. She's super religious. She told me recently that there's a passage in the Bible which states that if you never come in contact with the Bible, or if you're ignorant of Christianity your whole life, you actually get a free pass into heaven. Which, like, to me is a catch-22, because I haven't read either of those books. It slowly dawns on you. Oh, jeez. They're trying to legalize weed in Connecticut. Yeah. 3 brave souls. Awesome. Yeah. Some people don't like that. They think it's a bad idea. They think weed makes you lazy. Which, like, I don't know. I think the #1 cause of murder is people doing shit, so. And also, like, people say weed is the gateway to harder drugs. I'm like, weed is as much a gateway to hard drugs as porn is a gateway to sex. Like, if you had the balls to get out there and get the real thing, you'd be doing it by now. And like, you might be saying, like, oh, but John, what about people who try it once and get addicted? And I'm like, first of all, thanks for the question. It tries my set forward. That's really nice. And you'd be like, okay, that's really funny, but what about the weed thing? I'd be like, whoa, calm down there, buddy. Whose set is this, yours or mine? And you'd be like, hey, fuck you. The only thing funny about your set is that you complain about your dad not loving you and simultaneously validate his feelings. And I'd say, all right, okay, that's really harsh, but everyone give it up for this heckler who can come up with a good heckle, right? Let me talk about the weed thing, okay? Weed is as much a gateway to hard drugs as heckling is a gateway to stand-up. If you had the fucking balls, you'd be up here doing it yourself. Drop the mic. I'm not gonna do that. All right, that's my set, everybody. Thank you very much. Woo! Is this mic fixed yet? Oh, that's really sad. You're all gone. Oh. Speaking of babies, you ever realize that fantasize and infanticide sound the same? That's your mind doing that. That's tragic, actually. It's tragic. Speaking of tragedy, apparently tragedy is just, or comedy is just tragedy plus distance. So, my sister had a miscarriage. My sister had a miscarriage. See? That's not me. No, I'm kidding. My friend Amanda always asks me, like, John, why do you always make jokes about making jokes? Which is a legitimate question. And I told her it's because I don't like the artificial boundary between comedian and audience. I think that's weird. As if I'm not just up here making all this shit up just to make you guys laugh. Like, do you think my friend Amanda asked why I make jokes about jokes? No. I made that up. But, I'll stop with the jokes about jokes. I'll move into some more personal stuff. I said earlier that my dad's Irish. That's true, but my mother's Dominican. It's a really cool combination, half Irish, half Dominican. I love it, being half Dominican, because I can go out, have a fun time, you know, pretend I can dance, get blackout drunk, like Thursday through Saturday. And then I'm half Irish, so Sunday through Wednesday. Comes with the territory. But being half kind of confused me as a kid, particularly in elementary school, because we had to draw a lot of self-portraits, and I never knew what crayon to use for my skin color. I was a lot darker as a kid, by the way, but it was seriously confusing for me. I'm being serious. I remember, like, my friend Bethany would use like a peach crayon, and my friend T would use a brown crayon. My friend Victoria would use chapstick because she was blind. And I never knew what to do, so I ended up thinking I could just mix the colors. And every self-portrait I have from elementary school, I look like I have a terrible skin disease. But I didn't learn shit in elementary school. I don't know about you guys. It was just all a drawing. I never learned words. I'm really bad at the English language. You can ask any of my friends. For the longest time, I thought the word objectively meant you were like objectifying a thing. And I legitimately thought this until sophomore year at Yale. And this was terrible, because I'd get into section and say some really inappropriate things, like, I mean, objectively speaking, men own women. People get like really mad at me. I'm like, whoa, no, most men respect their wives, it's true. But I guess objectively speaking, they're just sex toys. Like, I would hate that. Speaking of sexism, you ever notice how like women, gender, and sexuality studies majors are like constantly reminding us of how we settled with our moral code? Right? and how our jokes are problematic, and that we're latching onto a form of humor we use in high school because of its shock value, right? And that we have to belittle them and make snide remarks because they're a constant reminder that we're okay with being wrong. No, just me on that, okay? I think sex is like a bottle of wine, and that I need a bottle of wine to have it. I think you should just call Yale guest Yale insecure. Have you ever just sitting in like the dining hall or the common room, and someone sits down at the piano and starts playing this like beautiful medley of like Disney songs and pop classics, and you're like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah, me neither. Shut the fuck up, John Gonzalez. Jesus. He gave me permission for that one. But while we're roasting, the judges already voted, so I'm just gonna go down the line here. Brian Scholl. For someone who knows so much about visual processing, you wear so many vests. Which is fine, I like vests too. I also am trying to look like a young 20-something. Cody, I learned recently that your real name is not Cody, and I was really shocked until I heard it was Frank, and then I understood. You're a freshman in Saybrook. That's enough. Caleb, you're beautiful, never change. That's my set. See you guys.